Okay, Chris is here. Chris, I kind of can't get over this headline that Portland has the worst air quality in the world.
There are some air quality sensors. I think I saw one up in Hood River County. I'll show you that in a minute, where it's registering an AQI of like up over 300. I know I saw one in Prineville, that's in Crook County, that had an air quality a number well over 300 earlier today.
Yikes.
So it's not just Portland. There are a number of locations around the state that even have it worse.
Not good, but
Air quality advisory continues, of course, through today and through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, at which point at least the west side of the state should see significant improvement in the air. But until then, again, we've got about 24 hours of very poor air quality to get through. This is the satellite imagery from the Weather Service here. And once again, everything that you see over Oregon and Washington, for the most part, is wildfire smoke. And there's our biggest culprit right there. That little bump there, of course, is Mount Hood. So the grasshopper fire is burning right there. The prevailing winds yesterday drove a lot of that smoke yesterday and through last night into the Willamette Valley in the I-5 corridor. We've had a little bit of a wind shift, and I'll show you that in just a second here on our Timberline camera. The fact that we can see the summit of Mount Hood and we can see some blue sky above, and mind you, the fire is just out of range here off to the east. That's a good sign for folks in the Willamette Valley, in that we're getting a bit of a wind shift up at about 7,000 feet and higher, which is helping to drive some of that smoke plume off to the east. But as mentioned, the smoke and the air quality is still paramount here, not only in the I-5 corridor, where you see a lot of red dots suggesting unhealthy air, but also some purple dots here. So there's the one I mentioned up in Hood River County, suggesting very unhealthy air. Another one near Prineville, very unhealthy air. Again, the primary culprit here for the wildfire smoke in Central Oregon, and specifically in Crook and Wheeler and Grant counties, is the Roe Creek Let's try that again. The Roe Creek fire complex, which continues to burn, and in fact has a section of Highway 26 still closed. Here in the metro area, we're either unhealthy for some or unhealthy air in general for all of us. And what that means is that if you're going to spend any time outside today, one, you should limit it. As we've heard all healthcare professionals say, there's no amount of wildfire smoke that is quote unquote safe. So if you do spend time outside, a mask is recommended, and not just a surgical mask. Those don't do anything to remove the particulate, the fine stuff in the air that irritates the lungs and irritates your allergies. You need to wear an N95 mask. That's for today. Smoky air and temperatures in the upper 80s to about 90. But here's our smoke modeling. And as I roll the clock on our computer model, you see the wind arrows on here? That is showing the wind shift that is already beginning to occur. And that will drive the thickest, heaviest smoke out of the region later tonight. And as we go to tomorrow, again, we still have residual smoke, but it is not nearly as bad. And the ongoing plume, which is again focused right there in Hood River County, will be redirected off to the east. And unfortunately, that's bad news for folks in Wasco County and out across the Columbia Basin. For the Willamette Valley and the I-5 corridor, that is good news as we shift the source of that fire, that smoke, I should say, off to the east and continue pushing it that way in the hours and the days to come. That said, this is what we got to deal with. It's 76 degrees right now at the Springs of the waterfront. A little bit of wildfire haze in Seaside, currently 70 degrees there, and Salem, again, that is all wildfire smoke in your sky with a current temperature of 80 degrees. Once again, the wildfire smoke giving us fits in terms of the temperature forecast, because if this were a clear day, the air mass above us is certainly warm enough to produce temperatures in the upper 90s, but the smoke is obviously absorbing a lot of that solar input. And so, in fact, in some cases, check that out, Scappoose is 6 degrees cooler today at noon than it was yesterday. So, meanwhile, folks east of the Cascades, Central Oregon right now, quite a bit warmer. We still maintain the heat advisory. The Weather Service does through the day today, because in the areas where the smoke thins, it could be quite hot. Temperatures down in the southern Willamette Valley could easily get 96 or hotter down towards Albany and Eugene. Maybe 92 here in Portland. We were 90 yesterday. I've got us at 92 this afternoon. Tomorrow we clear out, but Blair, the air mass is still hot, so it's going to be a hot day tomorrow with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. And then finally, I think we're cooling it down and clearing it out as we head into the weekend.